the first page of the typography activity, we want to do a couple different alignments, and you should have your text window open. If you do not, you can go to Window, or your character window, sorry. You can go to Window, Type, and Character, or alternately you could do Command T. So here we are. Now I'm going to make some tiny paragraphs here, and as a reminder, if you want to preset your size and your font over here, you can do that before you pull anything out. So I have done that. I'm going to pull out paragraph here, and here, here, and here. And as a reminder, we know the alignment of a block of text due to where the hard edge is. If the hard edge is on the left, it is left aligned. If it's on the right, it's the right aligned. If there are no hard edges, if there's two rags, that would be center aligned. And if there are two hard edges and no rag, that would be justified. So this is left aligned. Right here, if you are in Essentials Classic, like I am, there are three options for paragraph up here. So I can just click on my left aligned. If you do not have these up here, or if you prefer, you can also go to paragraph as this right here. The tab behind character is paragraph. So I just aligned that to the left. I align this one to the right. Center aligned. This one actually already is center aligned, and we know because there are two rags, we don't like center aligned. And justified, because Illustrator is such a amazing program. Typically when you justify text, or typically when you're typing, or when you have a body of text, it's the last line of text is going to be shorter than all the other lines because it's where it finishes. So for that reason, Adobe has put in 4 different options for your justification text, your justified text. Here it aligns the last line to the left, but everything else is justified. Here it aligns it to the right, but everything else is justified. Here the last line is in the middle, and here is where it's actually all justified all the way through. And as you can see on that option here, we have pretty big spaces in between these last couple words, but I sort of like that, so we're going to leave that. Finally, we're going to do tracking and tracking/kerning and leading. Let's make a let's just do, I should have put wide, narrow. Well, anyway, I'm going to do a single line of text, and I'm going to want these to be bigger, so I'm just going to preset it. Oh no, oops. As you can see, it is changing the type box that was already existing. We don't want that. Let's get that back to 6. Okay. So I'm going to click here, and I want that to be much bigger. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. So I'm going to make 3 lorem ipsums here. Command C, Command V. You can also, remember, hold Option, and that would pull it out too. So here's our regular tracking kerning. The tracking kerning is this VA with the space in between. And so here I'm going to make tight kerning. So tight kerning means that the kernels of corn are much closer on the cob. So as we go negative, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. I'm going to make it really obvious here. You would never want to have your words that close together, or your letters that close together. However, just for the sake of showing it to the extreme, that's what I'm going to do. And that was, let's see, what was that? Here we're at negative 119, so that's very, very tight. Let's make this really wide. I'm going to go all the way up to 250, and that is wide tracking kerning. And then leading, so of course in leading we are going to need a full paragraph of type, because leading is the space in between lines of type, and so if we don't have multiple lines of type, there's not going to be space between them. So we're going to pull this out. Whoop. Okay. Let's make this smaller, say 12. Oop. Well, I'm going to make that 12, and I'm going to make a new one. I've gotten this all messed up, so I want to get to here I am being a little confused. I want this at auto. Auto. Okay, I'm going to put this at auto for right now. Let's see, 12 and 12. Whoops. So usually, like the regular or sort of standard tracking kerning would be double the point size. So we're going to leave that. And let's just pull out a new one so we have a full paragraph. There we go. And I'm going to align it there. Now, as you can see, I'm toggling a lot in between different tools here. And that's something that you really just have to get used to with this program. It's not like ideal, but because there are so many different, there's no fast way around it because there are so many different tools. So on this first one, let's do tight letting, and that is when the lines of text are close together. And so right now, the auto is 14.4. So you would typically see a couple points more than your point size would be your typical letting, but let's make it smaller, tighter. Woo! Very difficult to read, but much smaller. And here, set our letting to wide, very wide. Something to note is that when you notice a little red plus sign in the bottom of your text box, that means that there's more text that's not showing. For placeholder text, it really doesn't matter because we're basically just trying to get the look of it. But if you have copy that you need to fit, you want to make sure that you either make your text box bigger so you can get it, or maybe you make your letting a little tighter, your kerning a little tighter to make sure everything fits inside what you need. So that would be the second part of this page. And there we go.